RuPaul's Drag Race. Reunited. Yes, darlings. All the girls are back. What, 15? 15 of those girls back. Who looked the best to me? Any standouts? The standouts to me was, in terms of their looks, I like Silky's little, drummer boy look. I was living for that little marching band look. I love that. Super cute. Who else looked good? I thought Mercedes Iman Diamond. I thought she looked beautiful. Who else? Rajah, her makeup was on point, and I liked her hair as well. Shuga Cain looked really, really good. Shuga looked really good. Who else was snatched to me? I thought Soju looked good. Who else? Nobody else stood out to me really in a good way. So that was all my good picks of people. Whose look that I did not like? Who else I like? Scarlet. Scarlet's look, that green was everything. I thought that was super duper fierce. Scarlet looked really good. Okay, who looks I didn't particularly care for? Even though I love her, Akeria. I thought the dress was beautiful, but practical wise, it wasn't that practical to wear all the bows and all the feathers in the world, and you're gonna be sitting on them. So I didn't really understand the concept. But even though I thought the dress was pretty, but that wasn't necessarily bad. Who look I did not like? Vangie. Vangie just really don't care. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, Vangie, you done pulled out some looks. But we all, as much as I love Vangie, we all know Vangie is not necessarily a look queen. Like, we don't look for Vangie. We love Vangie as a person, which is, most importantly, which is the most important. Excuse me. And we love Vangie as a personality. We don't necessarily love Vangie because of her looks, drag wise. Even though she looks great and all that, and super cute. But yeah, she just had on a shirt and like a see-through shirt and some shorts, like a boy shirt. I guess she was just trying to give a little easy breezy a Delano moment. But I don't even like it when Adore do it. So yeah, it was just a chop for me with Vangie. Who else looks I didn't care for? I didn't really care for what Ariel had on. Maybe it was just the wig. I didn't like the wig. I just feel like Ariel would look so much better if she just don't do a helmet wig, a big heavy thick wig all the time. Like my neck hurt just looking at her sometimes. I just be like, Ariel. Who else look I didn't care for? I couldn't see her outfit because how they have it set up. It's a lot of girls. So some girls are sitting, up at the top and some girls are sitting lower. All I could see was her head, and I didn't like the hair, and that was KahannaMontrese. And I love Kahanna, but I did not like the hair. Who else looked? Even though Yvie, this is her brand, to do something odd, to do, not the norm, and, just to, do her own interesting thing. And usually I love it. But the look that, that she had was just, the whole robe with a towel wrapped around her head, a mask on. And, it was a cute little concept, But no, it was a chop for me. But who else? That's all I could think of. Anyway, let's just get straight to the reunion. First of all, I appreciate the fact that they give us a reunion first, where the girls sit and recap the season, and then they go ahead and do the whole live show situation. I appreciate that, because imagine how rushed it would be if they sat down and talked to the girls and all that at the reunion like they used to, and then it was just the winner that was crowned. Now they're doing these whole lip sync things, and I mean, I just appreciate the fact that they're doing the reunion first, and then next week they do the big live show. But I don't know how I feel about the winner in terms of, two girls are lip syncing and then they move along to, I guess, the next level or whatever. Then you have the two final girls, and that's determining the winner. I don't know how that's going to work in this particular case, because Brooklyn, Yvie, Silky, and Akeria, for the most part, they're all really strong lip syncers. So, and it's done, I believe, by like round of applause. Or I'm not completely sure, but yeah, because I was in and out of watching season 10 of RuPaul's Drag Race, to be honest with you, and I didn't really watch season 9 at all. I started watching it, then I got bored. But I'm more so of a earlier RuPaul's Drag Race person. From season 1 through 6, I watched faithfully. Didn't watch any of 7. I picked back up and started back watching on 8. Then watched 9 and watched a little bit of 10 and a little bit of 9 too. But yeah, so these whole lip syncing at the live shows, having the girls go against each other, is kind of new to me. But I mean, it makes sense. They are drag queens, and that's ultimately what it boils down to, is the lip sync. But I mean, if we're gonna go by round of applause, people are just gonna cheer for who they like the most. So I don't know if it's based on round of applause. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see next week, won't we? Okay. So anyway, getting to the reunion. They started off with Vanjie, how she felt coming back and stuff. They asked Vanjie how she why did she pack so many bathing suits and all that, and Soju pretty much summed it up. She was just like, well, I feel like Vanjie packed so many bathing suits and all that kind of body dresses, to show off their body, because she was known on season 10. She got eliminated first, and she was known for that, that dress, that was just a ball that she put on. So she was all about showing body, etc., etc. I guess she didn't think about that. Hey, you maybe should have like a little bit more diversity or whatever in her drag and stuff. And RuPaul kind of read Vanjie as, "Oh, did you have some work done?" And Vanjie was just like, "Yeah, I had some work done." It was just like, "Oh, talking about a little teeth situation." I was just like, "Ooh, I know RuPaul did not call Vanjie out like that." I was like, "Lord Jesus." And she was just like, "Yeah," and RuPaul was just like, "Yeah," and the little Botox and things. And Vanjie was just like, "Child, everybody here got Botox. It don't even matter." So that was kind of funny. That scene with RuPaul and Vanjie giving it to the girls. We just love Vanjie. Vanjie is definitely just an awesome personality, but that is just a Libra trait, darling. But anyway, okay, they got on Vanjie, which is Brooklyn and Vanjie's relationship. Unfortunately, they tell us that they're no longer together. For some reason, there's a part of me that don't believe it, that they're no longer together. I think they're still together, behind the scenes, or at least smashing buddies. But we're gonna go with that. They said they ain't together, so it's like, okay. Brooklyn, she was just like, neither one of them expected this, and she definitely wanted to try to keep it in the dark, their relationship. But I'm like, but y'all kissing each other all on camera and hugging and all this stuff. I mean, did you not think that the camera was going to pan over to that at some point? But okay. So, and Akeria spoke up. She was just like, she just was a little worried about the relationship at first. She just did not want it to be like a clout situation. Like how, she just didn't want it to be like, oh, Brooklyn is just with Vanjie, because Vanjie's popular, to do that whole thing. And now we love Brooklyn, but we do know that Brooklyn is that girl. Well, she'll attach herself to a person for her own benefit, because we've seen it in the challenge when it came to Nina West, when it came to that the whole acting challenge, when they were acting like the two trailer park girls or whatever, and how she kind of took over that thing and then took all the credit when the girls was praising her on how good she did. She took all the credit for that. When she announced that she picked Nina because Nina's a good actor and can help her out with the challenge over Vangie. So, I think that's a pretty fair, worry for Akeria to have for her friend, Vangie. What else is going on? There was this weird little interaction where, RuPaul asked Vangie about, the whole wearing the same or similar silhouettes. And Shuga was just like, yeah, she kind of asked the girls, and Shuga spoke up and just like, yeah, Michelle keep telling you this one thing over and over, and to kind of change the silhouette up and do some things. And Shuga didn't say it in a rude or disrespectful way, but Vangie took it as a diss, and Vangie was just like, well, just like similar to you, how a lot of the girls were saying that your personality is not there. Where's Shuga? We don't know where Shuga is. We all have critiques pretty much. And I was just like, well, that's true. Shuga, she shut you down real quick, sis. So then we got into Rajah. I was like, oh, Lord. Because I already know what they're going to give a sis. I already know what they're going to give Rajah. Okay. So, RuPaul already started off shady. She was just like, a person that put the T in salty. Miss Rajah, child. I was like, child. They show all the bad clips of Rajah. Nothing good, nothing positive. Just all the bad clips of Rajah. And which I get it. Every season has to have a villain. And I guess this season villain was Rajah, I guess. Although they all had villain moments. And I get it. It's a TV show, whatever. Okay, I'm going to talk about my thoughts after the whole thing. But, all the bad, it was talking about, when Rajah had said what she said about Yvie, that she smells and that she needs to take a bath and that her drag is trash and all this other kind of stuff. And, Yvie, she got super emotional. I didn't really see a teardrop, but she did get emotional. And she was just like, the fact that you took it there when I was just giving an honest critique and all this kind of stuff. And, Rajah, she was just like, I want to apologize for how you may have taken it. Then all the girls was just like, no, that's not an apology. And especially Scarlet spoke up, was just like, but that's not an apology. That's not how you apologize. And once you're done with her, save some of that energy for me. I was like, ooh, look at Scarlet. Jumping up saying stuff. You got you a crowd. You got you protection. You got you security. I was like, come on, Scarlet. But I do understand. Scarlet did not have... She had positive moments, but she did not have the most positive experience on the show. And, she's feeling some kind of way. And Rajah was one of those people. Now, what Rajah was wrong for... her being super mean to Scarlet, I really didn't understand that. And, kind of blaming her for the challenge a little bit, for, losing the challenge, and, just, not reading her mirror message, which was like, why wouldn't you just read the mirror message, Rajah? So some of this backlash, most of this backlash that Rajah is getting, she deserves, for sure. But I do think in general, the general public, the general RuPaul's Drag Race fans, the general world, how it's set up, I do think that they're harsher on the black girls than they are on the white girls and the Asian girls and the Latino girls. Absolutely. Absolutely. How, we could say, okay, let's just say Rajah and Akeria. Let's just say they being loud and arguing with Nina and Plastique. Let's say that. And it's Nina and Plastique on this side, hypothetical. Nina and Plastique on this side, Rajah and Akeria on this side. They could both be yelling at each other, insulting each other, having the same tone of voice. They would take what Rajah and Akeria say harshly, the public, over what Nina and Plastique would say because they're black. Now, can we be honest and keep it real about some things? Now, Miss Rajah, she did not make it easy on herself with the stuff that she was doing. And like I said, she was wrong for a lot of stuff that she said. However, and we can even talk about it in the community. Yvie's black, Rajah's black. But because Yvie is biracial and, is more comfortable to the general public, which is white people, which is the general RuPaul's Drag Race fans is mainly white people, they're going to take what she says in a softer way versus what Rajah would say, even if they were both giving insults back and forth. And so, I definitely saw that, and RuPaul kind of played into that as well. And, RuPaul's an icon, RuPaul's a legend, we love RuPaul. But we're not going to sit up here and try to act like RuPaul is not a coon. We're not going to sit up here and try to act like, how many successful gay black men that are in the industry, all of them have white men on their arms. All of them. Is that a coincidence? We could talk about it in the comments a little bit more, in sections. Hell, my RuPaul's Drag Race reviews get, I don't know how many thumbs down, so it don't matter. I'm going to say what I want to say. So, can we talk or can we talk? Extremely successful. I look up to RuPaul. I think she's amazing, incredible, intelligent. A legend. You cannot take anything away from RuPaul. But we kind of have to call a thing as well. Okay, so what else is going on? Let's see. So, Rajah went on this whole thing about she's a Capricorn and all that. And I was just like, girl. Zodiac signs, I guess that has something to do with it. But you are who you are at the end of the day, sis. We love you, but call a thing a thing. Let's see. So, moving on from that, we have Plastique. Plastique brought up something very interesting. She was like, if you don't have a certain amount of followers, then you can't perform live. And I was just like, wow, that's interesting, but it just proves how big social media is these days. Let's see. They got on Akeria and Plastique, child. Plastique said that every single argument or controversy that she had, Akeria caused. And I was just like, ooh. And they was talking about the whole thing, the whole big explosive Untucked, when Plastique's boyfriend came on camera and spoke some not kind words about Plastique earlier in that episode. She had got the hug from RuPaul saying that I'm your mother now, which was weird. Okay. And, she, also talked about how her family, don't necessarily agree with who she is, etc. Her issues, religion, etc. I say this all the time, and I will continue to say it. Yes, it's situational, and every single family is not the same, regardless of whatever race. But I will say this, because this is truth. It is definitely harder being a person of color and being gay versus being white and gay. Absolutely, 100%. And I will continue to say it. And we continue to have stories and hear stories and see things that prove us, right. It is absolutely harder being gay and a person of color versus not, so because you have to tie in religion and all this kind of stuff and people's beliefs and how they grew up, and it's just a whole deep thing. Not saying it's easy for all white people to coming out or nothing. It's not what I'm saying. I don't think nobody's excited about it. No parents is excited about their child possibly facing a tougher time in life due to just who they are. But yeah, I mean, it's real. It's definitely a little harder for sure. So she talked about that. Let me see. Now, one thing I didn't like with Akeria tried to throw Rajah under the bus and was trying to blame Rajah for that whole entire argument. And I think because Rajah and Akeria are so close, Rajah did not want to come at Akeria. Because, then that would be the satisfaction of the enemy. Not actual enemy, but the enemy at the time, which was, during this conversation, which was Plastique. So, she was just like, Miss Rajah went over there and said what she said, and I had nothing to do with that. That was all of Miss Rajah. Now, Akeria, she told a little lie. She was just like, I said that, I also said in the whole situation that I did not know exactly what the boyfriend said, or maybe I heard it wrong. Now, mind you, didn't nobody ask Rajah to go over there and take off like a missile and confront Plastique about anything, because ultimately it doesn't boil down to in terms of Plastique's fault. It's just, like I said, the way of the world, child. And I also heard behind the scenes that Rajah was not the easiest to work with. It was just it's all kind of information out there and stuff. Not saying that it's true, but that's just what I heard, and whoop to whoop. But hey. So anyway, Plastique was just like, one reason I was not mad at Rajah was because I felt like that situation was not about me. It's definitely hard. I can only imagine being in her position when you think that you're doing well, you think that you're doing good in a competition, but then the judges are telling you otherwise, and then you're trying hard, but it's not good enough. Then you have people like Yvie coming down on you and saying that, oh, you need to do this better, you need to do that better, stop being in denial, what is wrong with you, while you're already in an emotional state. And black folks in general, we emotional as hell anyway, just period. So already feeling that, and it's a lot, so of course you're gonna lash out. I'm not saying it's right, but it happens. But like I said, Rajah's lashing out would be taken differently over somebody else's lashing out who's not black. So yeah, I was like, Akeria, girl, just own up to it. Akeria, at the end of the day, you went over there. Rajah was already in an emotional state. Everybody knew this. America knew this. You went over there, and you didn't make Rajah go over there to Plastique. You didn't, but you did kind of put a battery in her head because she was already irritated. And we all know that, Rajah is, what's the word? Reactive to certain stuff easily. So, we already knew that. I mean, hell. Okay, so moving on from that, let me see. Now, Plastique, you can't, with that said, you can't blame Akeria for all your saying that Akeria instigated everything. Akeria was just saying in her confessionals what a lot of other people said. Like, I don't know why. Let me think. If it's one thing that Akeria, if it's one thing that I can think of that Akeria did instigate when it comes to Plastique, was the whole Rajah situation on Untucked. Other than that, I'm trying to think. Plastique, you trying to blame her for all your situations. But Plastique, you did tell some lies, sis, if I can remember right. Allegedly, you did. So, I mean, what is the tea? But like I said, the black girls say something over the other girls is going to be taken differently. They can do whatever and sit back and play victim, even though they done started it. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing. They can sit there and cry and hoop and holler. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing. But, let the darker skinned girls do something, and it's an issue. I'll tell you. Nina Brown, she reviews RuPaul's Drag Race. Shouts out to you, Nina Bonita Brown. I love her so much. She's incredible. She is the only person that calls out this kind of stuff when it comes to like, stereotypes and like, colorism and racism. She's the only girl that I can think of that reviewed this show that calls out these kind of things. And she was on Drag Race season 9, as y'all know. We want her to be on All Star season 5, but I understand if she don't want to do it. I mean, I don't understand because I'm not there, but I would imagine it, all that pressure, and it's a lot. But she's the only person that calls out this kind of stuff for real. And let's just be honest, and it's not just Drag Race, obviously. It's just a world thing. It's just a people thing. I mean, this country was founded on racism and segregation and on the backs of blacks and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, this is Drag Race. This is light and fun, right? At times. Okay. Let me see. Somebody said something about pulling somebody off to the side and talk. And Yvie yelled out, she was just like, well, this is a reality show. Give us reality. Which proves to me, because a lot of times, even though I love Yvie, I love all the girls, even though I talk crap, this is just my job. I love all the girls. But Yvie, with that statement that she said this is a reality show, basically give them reality. What that told me was that a lot of the stuff she said, she did on purpose. She purposely riled the girls up. When she knew that they was feeling down, she purposely kick them down a little bit further so that they can have a reaction, which can give an argument for more ratings on the show. Which proves that Yvie, you know what you was doing half the time, or most of the time. When it came to all these different arguments, you knew exactly what you was doing. So, you want somebody to sit back and feel bad for you with them tears. What you call them tears that you don't see tears actually falling down, but they crying? Crocodile. Yeah. So, I mean, sis, it's like, I caught that. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but I caught that shade. I was just like, oh, okay, so you knew what you was doing. You was getting people riled up for the ratings. Did nobody ask what you thought every single time? It was all them other girls. Oh, I get you. I understand what you're saying. I get you and all this. I get it, but it didn't need to be said once again. Sometimes if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Sometimes. I mean, hell, I don't understand who enjoys just beating somebody down. They already got roasted and got read on what the judges said, and just because they come back and say, oh, we don't understand what the judge is talking about, they didn't give you the right to speak every time and be like, well, they're talking about this. It's just like, girl, shut up. If we was in the streets, somebody would have got cut up. They moved on to Nina West. Everybody loves Nina West. She's the pride of the season, and I'm really confused on who's going to win Miss Congeniality this season. Miss Congeniality. Miss Congeniality is probably going to go to Mercedes Iman Diamond or Nina West. Anybody else congenial? Or Soju. I thought it was going to be Silky at first, but Silky blew that. They ain't going to let Big Silk with the good old milk Miss Congeniality. Even though I love Silky, but yeah, child. Silky done showed out. Yeah, they're my three that I can think of that could be. And maybe Shuga. Okay, Shuga, Cain, Mercedes Iman Diamond, Soju, and Nina West. Those are my 4 as Miss Congeniality. Yeah. If it's not those 4, I don't know who's going to get it. My vote for Miss Congeniality is Mercedes Iman Diamond. Anyway, I talked about Nina West. Rihanna slid in her DMs, and good for her. I think Nina West is going to be on All Star season 5 for some reason. I think she'll do well. And let me think about it. Yeah, and all around, Nina West is one of those people that I really like. I think she's a good person, like all around, and for the most part, she's fair and not problematic or anything like that. So, shouts out to Nina West. What else is going on? Scarlet Envy. They got on Scarlet, child. You know, Scarlet Envy and Ariel Versace. They definitely got their wake up call. They came in real cocky. They came in thinking they was the bee's knees, and they got knocked back right on down, child. They got knocked right on down, child. They confidence definitely took a dive. They got in that competition thinking they was it, and it didn't go over well. You know, Brooklyn Hytes. She was at the viewing party for whatever particular episode. At good old Roscoe's, which I love watching. I love their channel, Roscoe's, where all the drag race queens go. And she was there, and she was talking, and she basically said that everybody hated Scarlet Envy. And Scarlet tweeted, she was just like, did everybody really hate me? And, you know, I can imagine that's rough hearing your sisters, you know, say that they hate you or whatever. And hate is a strong word. Brooklyn, she was just like, maybe I shouldn't have used the word hate, but I didn't particularly care for you on the season at all. And when I sit back and think about it, Scarlet was not that likable. She just wasn't. Not saying she's a bad person or nothing, but she just wasn't that likable. There were certain times though where I did feel like they slighted Scarlet. Many moments. But I guess that was maybe on purpose, like them picking her last and all that. We all know how that feels at some point in our lives. There were certain moments where I did feel bad for her, but maybe it was warranted because, you know, she was not that girl like she thought she was in her head. But she apologized to everybody and all that, and Rajah spoke up, which I wish she wouldn't have spoke up. Because they love to use every single opportunity they can to throw Rajah under the bus, to let Rajah be the pit bull, to let Rajah be the aggressive one. And she, a lot of times, falls into that. Even with her own sisters, they kind of throw her under the bus and be like, oh, Rajah's this, Rajah's that. That's Rajah's job to be rah, 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 to be the pit bull of everybody. And I wish she just stopped giving them that opportunity. And not saying that you shouldn't be true to yourself, but you got to know what these folks trying to do. They're trying to make the black girl the bitch of the season. And I just wish she wouldn't like fall into those like traps so easily. Even though she said what she said and it was out of her own mouth, most of it was just out of emotion and out of the fact that she was doing poorly in the competition when she wanted to do better. So I just wish she wouldn't just give that all the time, you know? And, you know, that was however many months, or maybe a year ago, whatever. She's fine now. She's turned over a new leaf. Scarlet, Rajah is fine. I adore Rajah. Regardless of what you think about Rajah, Rajah is a fantastic drag queen. Absolutely. Some of her looks I love, or pretty much all her looks I loved. And I think she's super talented, and I think she'll be a great candidate for RuPaul's Drag Race season 5 All Stars. I think she'll be great on that show. But she'll definitely have to turn over a new leaf to get the fans back on her side. Me personally, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with her. I'm cool. You know, I'm on her side. I get her. You know, I'm black, so I get it, and from the South, so I get it. I get, you know, everything that she's given. But at the same time, like I said, I can also call a person out when they're wrong. And a lot of times Rajah was wrong in how she handled and said certain stuff. There's a certain way to give shade. You have to find that way to be shady but be funny at the same time. Akeria has mastered that. Vangie has mastered that. Who else? I think at times Silky has mastered that. Everybody's shady. Straight people, gay people, everybody. But you just have to find that it's just a certain quality that you have to have in your personality, that when you are throwing shade, unless you mean to be mean, and then y'all go back and forth and fight. But if not, you have to find that special quality in your reading, in your shade, to throw shade, to read a girl, but to also make it funny. And, you know, but like I said, if your intentions is to hurt feelings, then go ahead and do your gig, I guess. If they hurt yours. if you want to be petty and do tick for tat, whatever. But you just have to find that you have to find a way to be shady, but also make it funny. That way, nobody's feelings is really hurt, and it's just shade going back and forth, and it's just cute and fun, And I don't think Rajah has quite found that yet, where her shade is necessarily funny. Okay, that's all. It was a rant or whatever. But when Rajah said on the season, when Yvie was painting herself pink, when she was the jellyfish, with Rajah said that she gonna get the pink eye, I screamed. That was funny. See, that was funny, Rajah. Okay, yeah. So they got on Ariel next, child. Like I said, Ariel and Scarlet got their wake up call. They thought they was gonna be them girls for the season, and it turned out to be a flop. The whole time, nobody said anything to Honey Davenport. I was just like, my God, when is Honey gonna get her shine? When is Honey gonna, like, Honey should be on All Stars the next season, just so we can get the fact to get to know her. And I am loving, so far, I'm loving like what Honey is giving outside the show in terms of her fashions. I love it, and I love the fact that she always reminds you that she's a bee. She always wears black and gold all the time, and it looks great. It looks great on her. So shouts out to Honey Davenport, child. Anyway, let me see. They got on Ariel, child. They got on the whole wigs things. We all saw where Ariel tweeted, basically saying that she did leave the wigs to Plastique, and she left one wig to Silky, and she don't understand. We all saw when Ariel's on the show when they brought the girls back that she was talking to Vangie. She was mad about all the wigs. She said she only left a wig to Silky, and that's it. The rest of the girls took the wigs. It was a whole situation. Plastique lied on Untucked and said that the wig was for her. All the wigs left over, minus the one for Silky, was for her, which was a bold-faced lie. What else? And then when Vanjie was doing her makeup and Akeria calling the girls out, she had said, now that was an instigating moment, Akeria. That was a little instigating moment when you calling the girls out. And, nah, you ain't have to do that. Nah. You was on your Yvie mess that time. You ain't have to say that, but I guess. Ratings, producers, whatever. So, yeah, she was just like, yeah, that's what I'm mad about. Talking about the wig that Rajah left. That Rajah left with. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, so now you're throwing Rajah underneath the bus. And all these girls sitting here in your face that be wearing your wigs, and you ain't mad at them. You had the opportunity to come back. You ain't cussing them girls out. But the one girl that did not get to come back when they brought the girls back. Well, also Kahanna and Mercedes didn't get to come back either. But the one girl that didn't get to come back, you mad at her for taking your crinkly purple wig? Child. It was just a mess. And we pretty much found out, well, Ariel, why did you tweet that and said that you left the wigs for Plastique? She gonna tell Plastique, I did not leave the wigs for you, to her face. But she basically did not want to give those girls the satisfaction because they was coming down on Plastique, and she saw that from at home. And she did not want to say they're correct, the wigs was not for Plastique, because she didn't like basically seeing all them gang up on her about the wigs. And so she was trying to protect her friend by lying about it. And she was just like, the same way how you would protect Akeria, etc., etc. Which is true. Ultimately, there's just cliques. Some people, let's just say they're all sisters, all friends, whatever. But there's just cliques within the cliques. Everybody gravitate toward who they identify most with. And that's just it. But still, you didn't have to lie, Craig. You didn't have to lie. All that hair. And, of course, Rupaul used this opportunity to come for Rajah and was just like, Rajah, did you take one of the wigs? Rajah was just like, one of her wigs may have ended up in my luggage. I screamed. And then Rajah actually had her wig and threw it on the ground and throwed it to her. I was just like, oh, Rajah, no. every time you get the opportunity, like, oh gosh, I was just like, Rajah, no. She threw the wig on the floor. I was like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Okay, what else is going on? They got on Mercedes, Mercedes, the African queen. She's had, issues in the past, and, with her family, she talked about her family. Some of her family members accept her, her sisters, but the other family members don't necessarily accept it. They don't understand it, obviously, we get it. KahannaMontrese, she finally got the chance to speak. She was just like, she felt some kind of way about Mercedes. And they was just like, why? Everybody loves Mercedes. She was just like, Mercedes is shady. Because apparently, before the girls even lip synced, that before Mercedes and Kahanna lip synced, apparently Mercedes already posted who's going to win the lip sync. And Kahanna felt like that kind of took the opportunity away from her fans to root for her. And which I do kind of get, but I'm still like, well, why is that a big deal? But then, once Mercedes said that somebody sent that to her and she posted it. But then Mercedes, once it was over with, she went on ahead and reposted it afterwards. It was just like, okay, a sorry, not sorry situation. Shouts out to Demi. So I was just like, okay, well, I get it, but I don't get it. I still, me personally, I wouldn't be mad about it. I just thought there was something stupid to be mad about. But we're gonna give Kahanna her seasons, her treats, because she's another girl that we did not get to know this season because she left early. So hey, let me see. The classic line where Rupaul says, "What other people think about me is none of my business." That's true, but sometimes in certain instances, certain situations, certain groups, it's easier said than done. Okay, they did a little reading challenge. Who had the best read was Nina, towards Soju. She says, it's a shame that your career did not pop off like your cyst. And she was just like, tell me something. Did it K-pop? I was just like, that was cute. What else? So the top 4 girls is Akeria, Brooklyn, Silky, and Yvie. And RuPaul gave the eliminated girls, opportunity to say something nice about the top 4 girls. To Akeria, Vangie said that Akeria will make something out of nothing. She can take a trash bag and make it a gown, and she's super talented. Scarlet said to Brooklyn, she's a beautiful dancer, and it's just amazing watching you work and do your thing. Ariel said to Silky, we didn't get along a lot this season, but you are always true to yourself, and I can appreciate that about you, and you're a superstar. And Brooklyn said to Yvie, was just like, I knew from day one you were going to be somebody to watch. You're incredible. You're incredibly unique and awesome, and you're amazing. So, it's definitely nice things all said. I definitely feel like some of the girls left that reunited feeling salty, for sure. Probably a lot of girls did not get the they probably didn't get the ending they wanted, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. A lot of personalities, 15 hoes. Yeah. So next week is gonna be the whole big live finale and see who's gonna be RuPaul's Drag Race winner. Like I said, my top choice on who I want to win is Akeria, then Silky, then Yvie. But like I said, who I think is gonna win is Yvie, and I would be absolutely happy if Yvie was to win as well. Yvie's talented. All of them are talented. Brooklyn is extremely talented. They're all great at what they do. It would make sense for Yvie to win, just judging based on social media and how the fans, root for certain girls and respond to certain girls. It looks like Yvie's gonna win, but we don't know. We'll see. With that said, I'm Mr. Chalake. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at IsKingsWare on Instagram and Twitter. At IsKingsWare89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook. Mr. Chalaki on Cash App and PayPal. Run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.